Hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I feel like I was having a little bit of trouble. Well, not trouble, but it was telling me that frames were dropping. It seems like it's stable now, but I'm not sure. So you guys have to let me know. Anyway, welcome to the stream. Don't really have anything planned for this stream. I'm just gonna chill for a little bit. Maybe do I don't know, AMA Q&A, or just, you know, just relax and chill. But yeah, I'm doing pretty well. It's been a busy month. Actually, it's been a busy couple of months for me. I'm actually a little bit behind schedule. My goal is to put out another video by next week. So hopefully I get that done. Well, I kind of have to get it done. Deadlines and whatnot. Just subscribed last night. Dope. Yeah, as the title suggests, we recently reached 200,000 subscribers, which is, you know, just as arbitrary a number as any, but it's a nice round number that looks cool. And you know, the past few months specifically have been really good for the stream, or for the channel, also for the stream, but mainly for the channel as a whole. So we've been rapidly growing. And it really hasn't stopped for the past like 2 months. We've been on like a roll. So I'm interested to see how long this train goes. I mean, there's always a point where it kind of slows down, or at least that's my experience. You'll get a boost, and you know, the I guess the acceleration will cap at a certain point and then start to slow down. But we've been going strong for a while. Listen on your Raycon earbuds. Dope. Yeah, I've got mine here. I'm not using them though. But yeah, I don't know. It keeps telling me that I'm dropping frames, but I'll just go off what you guys say. I think it is kind of lagging though. My internet, I guess, is messing up because I didn't change any settings. Certainly didn't. I don't really know what to do. I maybe need to... Yeah, I have no idea really. I guess I can only hope that it'll just fix, that it'll just work. That it'll fix itself. I guess I could lower the bit rate, but Can I change the frame rate? I can. No, I don't really have any applications open. I mean, it's just the same thing. It's the same settings as it's always been. So either there's something going on with my internet or my computer. Anyway, welcome to the stream. I stream every Monday and Friday, or at least I try to. And it is Monday, so we're back again. Didn't really have anything planned for today, but it's all good. At worst, it'll be a max headroom aesthetic. Fair. Would I do a video collab with Destiny? I mean, probably. I don't think he does video collab. The content he makes, is it? Besides, like, debating people. Computers are dumb. They just randomly start messing up even though you didn't do anything. I didn't do anything different. Unless there's some shit running in the background that I don't know about. Thank you for all of the congratulations and positive messages. But yeah, and then it'll like stabilize for like 3 minutes, and then I don't know, it's whatever. Unless it just becomes, y'all just let me know if it becomes unwatchable. Maybe it's fixed itself, I don't know. So how's everybody doing this Monday? It is Monday, basically Monday night here in Birmingham, Alabama, where I am. It's almost 8 p.m. What's up, Chris? Congrats on 200K. I started watching a few months ago. It's one of my favorite channels. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Chris. What's up, Amberly? Appreciate it. No. Thank you, Mediocre Existence. Goes in and out of sync. Well, it seems like everything's messing up. I don't know that my audio ever was in sync, to be honest. Oh yeah, I haven't gotten Tabletop Simulator. I might get it, but probably not during the stream. I feel like it's probably going to be a pretty chill stream. Probably not going to stream too long. But yeah, this past year, I don't know, like the past 3 years have been like the third, second, and first best years for my channel. Each year keeps topping the previous one. Like for those that have followed for a while, you know, I grew to about like 80, almost 90,000 subscribers, and then I was like plateaued there for a good like 2 years, and the channel just was not growing at all. And then I don't know, YouTube's algorithm is weird. It changes like every day, so I don't know. And some of it was my fault. I think a lot of my content was kind of lazy. So and once I started working a little bit harder, I saw more results, so that's part of it as well. But then I started growing, you know, I started growing a little bit, and then I think I started doing pretty well, videos are doing well, and then I believe it was maybe the Simpsons video. Was that before the Sam Harris video? I started to basically lean into sort of the video essay format that a lot of the other left tubers were doing. And people seem to really dig it. Yeah, I think the Simpsons video, it was the Simpsons video, and that video did really well. And then after that was the Sam Harris video, and that video blew the fuck up and kind of started a nice little train. And then from there, most of the videos that I was doing well. Straight Dude Logic, that got a lot of views. And then, you know, I kind of settled into, okay, yeah, I'm doing pretty well, getting nice views. And then I made the Tina Fey video, and then that blew up. So, and then that was last year, I believe, 2019. And again, I was riding on that for a while. And then from there, it was just like a string of pretty successful videos. And then eventually I hit 100,000 subscribers. When did that happen? I made a video about it. So I hit 100,000 in October. Oh, I hit 100,000 in 2018, October 2018. So it took a little less than 2 years to get the next 100,000. But yeah. Thoughts on Biden? Wait, the message went away. New to your channel, white male entrenched in local rap culture in my city, and I appreciate your thoughts on race. Helps me navigate rough waters and be more introspective and be a better person. Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad that you're getting something out of it. Your newest video is fucking amazing, by the way. Thank you. I'm actually surprised that it's doing so well. I mean, I like it, but it's like, it's becoming one of my most viewed videos, which I didn't expect. Like, it's already at like almost 200,000 views. So that's cool. I'm glad people are into it. I think the first video I saw of yours, how to be nice like 6 years ago. Yeah, that was a long time ago. And I don't know how many of you were there, but the other day or last week or something, we rewatched some of my old videos, just kind of reacted to old videos, and it was kind of interesting to see how I evolved in different ways. I don't think we watched that one though, but I'm gonna do sort of like a part 2 of that, because we started like at the beginning and we watched sort of select videos in chronological order, and then we got to about 5 years ago, so there's still like 5 years of videos that we can look at. What is this music? By the way, let me know if the music is like too loud or something. This is music made by my brother, John Ivory. He is a music producer, beat maker, engineer. This is what he does for a living. And he allowed me to use a bunch of his tracks. This has a little playlist for the stream. Add a little more ambiance, a little more aural ambiance to the stream, and also just, I guess, gives him some exposure. But he's not really set up to do anything about his exposure, because he normally works IRL one-on-one with people. I mean, he does work through the internet, like people can definitely contact him on the internet, but he needs to like get like his YouTube set up and his Instagram set up and all that stuff. But there's a link in the description. You can check out some more of his music at soundcloud.com/KingJohnIvory. And if you want to get in contact with him, like to work with him or something, you can just email me and I can put you in contact with him. But I mean, you know, this is what he does for a living, so don't expect like, you know, like free stuff or anything like that. Discover your channel a little bit ago. Much love from Kansas City. I appreciate that. The song that is the outro music to all of my video essays is also made by John Ivory. A lot of these actually are his older tracks, so like he's got a lot more newer stuff, but this is kind of the stuff that he let me use basically, because I think a lot of the stuff he's like actually like sells to people and stuff. I really enjoy your videos. I like how you seem to want to keep anger and judgment out of it, and you're not trying to win, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty fair assessment. I would mainly just want people to be more thoughtful and more charitable and more honest and open-minded, all that stuff. Even if they don't end up agreeing with me. And I just generally think that being, you know, snarky and cynical and mean-spirited and all that shit, I don't think it's very convincing. It can be very convincing to people that already agree with you. So if your goal is to just sort of preach to the choir and validate things validate opinions that people already have, which maybe there is room for that in certain cases, but that's not really what I'm trying to do. But that's one of the reasons why I don't, even though I make videos like this, I don't watch too many videos in this genre. I guess you could call it this genre, because that's kind of how a lot of it is. It's just kind of people, it's just like propaganda basically. It's just people preaching to their own audience and trying to basically like telling their audience how smart they are and how dumb everybody else is. It's like, we're the smart ones, we're the enlightened ones. And that's not really my style. It's not what I'm interested in. It's not what I think ought to be done. That's how a lot of like politics, social issues, related channels are. Congrats on 200K, just subbed the other day, so this is wholly my doing. You're welcome. Well, thank you. Thank you for being the 200,000th subscriber. I couldn't have done it without you. I still want a Heiko book. I might do that at some point. Watch the video on X-Men: The Last Stand. Fun to see an irreverent video, but I also like your thoughtful content. Well, I appreciate that. I think that I will do more videos like that. They never get any views. Well, I mean, they get views, but they don't get anywhere near as many views as the normal videos, which makes sense because that's usually not what people subscribe for. Although I have gotten a lot of messages of people that found me through that video because it was part of a collaboration, so that's pretty cool. But I'll do videos like that every now and then just because they're fun to do and it's just something else that I'm interested in. Being a YouTuber is kind of interesting sometimes because you want the views, obviously, but there's no sort of guaranteed way to get the views. And if you focus too much on the views, you're just gonna drive yourself mad. So my strategy is I just try to make stuff that I want to make. I would be lying if I said I don't care about the views or I don't care how many views videos get. But I don't care so much that it will that if I really want to make a video, I won't make it because I don't think it will get as many views. But I mean, I'm playing the YouTube game just like everybody else. Suppose if you feel like you're in a competitive environment, you want to look like you're better than the opposition, but if you feel you're in a cooperative environment, that stops being important. I agree. And for all of the people that are just joining, I apologize, the video is kind of lagging and skipping a bit. I really don't know how to fix it. I suppose I could restart the stream with lower settings, but I have a feeling that won't work, and also I don't want to do that. So y'all just let me know if the stream is like unwatchable. Is that a mouthfeel shirt? It is a mouthfeel shirt. This is ContraPoints merch. Now, ContraPoints is an example of a political, if you call it that, political channel that I do watch, because I do think that her channel has that nuance and compassion that I try to strive for. But I feel like most political channels lack that. You hit 200K in almost the same time that Vosh did. Well, I mean, he did it way quicker than me. What do you mean? I guess, do you mean like from 100K to 200K? Or do you mean at almost the same time? Definitely not in almost the same time. I think that nuance and thoughtfulness is one of the most refreshing parts of your content. Exhausting wading through emotionally baiting propaganda content on YouTube, even when I agree with it. Yeah, I feel the exact same way. Channels that simply preach to the choir while being progressive don't actually progress society nor help change opposing minds. You're definitely on the right track with your video style and nuance. I mean, I appreciate that. Maybe there is some maybe there is a place for content like that. I definitely don't think that should be the only strategy, but I don't know, maybe there's a place for it. It's just not what I'm really trying to do. It's not what I find to be useful. I think that, I know that sometimes it is good to just not feel like you're crazy, where you have these ideas, but there's like large segments of the world that tell you that those ideas are bad or wrong. And it's good for someone else to come to you and be like, no, you're not crazy. You're right. Those ideas are right. So maybe there's a place for that. But the problem is, maybe your ideas are bad and wrong, and you need to be exposed to a more nuanced view to show that. Or even if they're not outright bad or wrong, they may be incomplete, they may lack perspective, etc. So yeah, I don't know. But people make the content that they want to make. It's not really, I'm not trying to judge anyone or like condemn people for making certain types of content. I'm just describing what I like and what I'm interested in, what I think is useful. Is it already at 203K? Jesus. Wait, no, it's not. It says 201. Oh, Vosh is at 203. Okay. I get it now. I understand. I was joined by your Sam Harris video after YouTube suggested it. Glad I found my way here. Yeah, the Sam Harris video, it continues to get views. I made it like 2 years ago, but it's people keep watching it and engaging with it, and therefore YouTube keeps I was gonna say recycling, but I don't think that's the right word. But basically, YouTube keeps putting it back into the algorithm because people keep watching it. So that's dope. I have a theory. My theory is that Sam Harris video is gonna get 1 million views. Maybe not, probably not anytime soon, but I say like, I don't know, I'll give it like a year. I feel like that video is gonna get 1 million views. But I'm getting to the point where a lot of more recent videos are like displacing my older videos in terms of the most watched videos on my channel, which is good. That means that I'm not washed up, I guess. Quentin Mayo, thank you for the $5. Apparently my alerts are still not working with the mic drop super sticker. pros and cons of living in Birmingham. Well, I don't know. Birmingham's cool. It's there's a lot of history here. It is, well, depending on where you go, it is visually pretty. It's not visually pretty everywhere, but in some places it is. It's inexpensive to live here. It's pretty chill overall. Like it's kind of like a little big city. It's not a large city at all. If you're like into like super large, densely packed cities, Birmingham won't be for you. But if you kind of want the like light version of living in a city while still being able to like escape, Birmingham's good for that. As for cons, I feel like the city has a lot of issues in terms of like political management and things of that nature. There's always like political scandals and things like that. A lot of like contesting views. Birmingham, like many cities in America, is starting to have a really big problem with gentrification. And there doesn't really seem to be any kind of investment into building up low-income communities. Rather, it's just private enterprises sort of coming in and, you know, repurposing the properties. And there's, I don't know if this is unique to Birmingham, but as far as like my sort of generation in this city, like there's a lot of like really toxic people. There's something about Birmingham, I think, that there's a lot of people here that just feel stuck here. And because of that, a lot of people are like really unhappy, and because of that, a lot of people are really toxic. And maybe that applies to a lot of other cities, but it's something that I've noticed about Birmingham. Can't do super chat, but I'm a patron. I appreciate that. Yeah, I do know that about you, and that's fine. No one's, I mean, there's no requirement to do anything. I just subscribed to it after binging your videos at work today and enjoy your content. I appreciate that. Yeah, by the way, subscribe to channels if you like. We're in an era of YouTube where you don't have to subscribe to channels. Like if YouTube learns that you like a channel, it will keep showing them to you even if you're not subscribed, but you still should subscribe to channels. YouTube does use that form of engagement to decide whether to put videos in the algorithm, so make sure you still subscribe. Also, basically the new subscribe, like the real subscribe button is the notification bell. If you click the notification bell, that's how you actually make sure that you receive the videos. So if you want to make sure you don't miss a video, that's the way to do it. The subscribe button doesn't do that. Even though you think it would. Been watching for a long time. Well, I appreciate that. Been following since 2013. Well, that's kind of when my channel first blew up, but it's definitely not the beginning. Like I said, we watched some old videos on the stream. I believe the first video is 2008, or the oldest video on my channel is from 2008, and then I got consistent on YouTube in 2010, and then I got my first big boost of subscribers in 2013. Congrats on 200K. That's some grind work right there. I appreciate that. What do you think about Ice Cube's contract with Black America? If you haven't read it, take some time and read it. Yeah, I don't think I know anything about that. Yeah, I live in Birmingham, Alabama. There's a Birmingham, England as well. I'm sure that Birmingham, Alabama is named after Birmingham, England. What's up, Earth Chan? How long does it generally take you to make a video? Well, it definitely depends on the video. But I mean, if you're including every step of the way, like for one, I have to come up with an idea. I generally have a lot of ideas like written down, but oftentimes either I don't really want to do those ideas at the moment, or certain ideas require like more research than I'm able to do that month or those couple weeks. But I have a lot of ideas written down, but sometimes I have to think about what I'm gonna do. And you know, who knows how long it takes to come up with an idea. But after the idea, I have to write the script. All of my videos are scripted, if you cannot tell. They have pre-written scripts. And writing a script, I don't know in terms of hours, but I mean, it definitely takes several days in real time. In terms of actual hours of work, maybe like 6 to 15 hours. And I write and research at the same time, so that kind of those are added together. So you can say writing / research, maybe like 6 to 15 hours, depending on the video. Some videos require a lot more research. Like for example, the Sam Harris video. For one, it's a longer video, so it was a longer script. And I mean, I researched for a good like 2 weeks on it or something. I couldn't even tell you how many hours it was. And then after that is the recording of the video, which is the quickest part. Takes about 30 minutes to an hour. And then there's editing, which is interesting because it's probably the most tedious part, but it's also the most creative part. Maybe the writing is the most creative part, but the editing is also pretty creative. But it's also the most tedious, and depending on the video, it can take anywhere from like 6 to 12 hours of editing. For longer videos, like I think my longest video is maybe close to 25-30 minutes long. That can take, you know, all day to edit. And then after that is uploading. And you would think that you're done when you upload, but there's a lot of other stuff you have to do after you upload, or like during or before uploading. You have to make a thumbnail, you have to brainstorm what the title's gonna be, what the description's gonna say. You have to input the tags on the video. You have to, in my case, every time I upload a video, I also upload it to Facebook. I also put it on my Twitter. I also put it on my website. I put it on Patreon, and I put it on the Discord. So I have to do all of that. I have to add captions to the video. So there's a lot of steps. Even after the video is complete, like completely made, there's a lot more steps as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it at that point. After all that's done, you just upload the video, make it public. But I am at the point now where I'm starting to get a little bit of help with the video, particularly with editing. My brother's been helping out with editing, which saves a lot of time for me. As I said, it's the most tedious part. But I still do most of the other stuff. So yeah, one video, you know, could be anywhere from like 20 to 100 hours, which sounds like a lot, but you know, it's as much as any job. So it's a job, you know. Alessio Lomain, thank you for the $5. Hey T1J, how you doing tonight? Should being a billionaire not be allowed? Should we limit wealth? As an aside, I appreciate what you do. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. I've always said I don't think that being a billionaire should not be allowed, but I don't think it's hard for me to imagine that being a billionaire would be even possible in any kind of society that really gave a shit about its people. Any society where wealth and profit and money and taxes and all that was used to make sure people's basic needs were met, however you do that, it just doesn't seem like there would be enough money for billionaires to exist. And again, I don't think that we should like arbitrarily limit wealth. I just think that wealth would naturally be limited if we lived in a society that gave a shit. Has this become your full-time job at this point? Yes, it has. I am familiar with Alex Botez. I'm a big fan of chess, so I've been really following the chess community on YouTube and Twitch. And the Botez sisters are pretty entertaining. The image, sound, and lighting quality has gone up in your videos quite a lot over time. Are you happy with the current setup or still looking for better gear? I think you'll find that anybody that does anything related to video, photography, probably even music, is always looking for better gear. But I definitely am, because my setup has always had to be budget friendly. I've never really been able to buy like the really good equipment or stuff. So my time is definitely spent researching what is the biggest bang for my buck that I can get. Perhaps in the near future I can splurge a little bit and get something cool. But that also teaches you the lesson that you can get pretty decent quality without spending tens of thousands of dollars. But if you do spend tens of thousands of dollars, you can get some really good quality if you know what you're doing. Can't confirm that for music. Yeah, for sure. And I used to make music a little bit, so I kind of know a little bit about it. But yeah, I mean, I think people sometimes focus too much on equipment. At least from a YouTube perspective, you should, like, the equipment is not a replacement for content. I think there are certain things that you should have. Like, you should have, I think probably the first two things, assuming you have some kind of camera. If you have a phone, you have a camera. But I think the first two things that any like person that wants to make videos should look into is lights and microphone. Like, I think that people will watch a video with high audio quality and low video quality much sooner than they'll watch one with high video quality and low audio quality. So, you know, get you an okay mic. And the thing is, you don't have to spend a bunch of money on the mic. You can get you like a Blue Yeti for like what, $100 or something. I don't know, $100 is too expensive for a lot of people, but if you are trying to like be serious about something, you have to invest in it, and that's just how it goes. But you know, for example, the mic that I'm using right now, I'm lucky because it was actually a gift. But the one I'm using right now is probably like, let me look it up actually. I have an Audio Technica, and that's something, speaking of upgrading, I've been looking at wanting to do. 4033A. Yeah, this mic is about $400, it seems. And that's not even like a lot. There are mics that cost like $10,000, dude. But you don't have to spend $400 on a mic, you know, is my point. And I just semi-upgraded. I have like a loaner camera right now, but before I was using my T3i. This thing here. This is a Canon T3i. It's a discontinued Canon camera, but you can find it used for probably like $200-300, and it's perfectly fine for YouTube. But right now I'm using a Canon SL2, which is a little bit better. But even the SL2 is only about, you can find it for about $600-700. And as you probably know, cameras run much higher than that. So I'm moving up slowly, but I've always had to be budget friendly. But I would always love to upgrade.
Favorite all-time wrestler? Favorite diva? Mine is Rexy and Lita. Oh, and fave finishing move?
Favorite all-time wrestler is Sting. Favorite diva? Well, they don't call them divas anymore. But favorite female wrestler, probably Asuka. Unless you specifically mean people from the diva era, in which case probably, actually my favorite is probably AJ Lee. Like of all time, probably AJ Lee. And favorite finishing move is the clothesline from hell from Bradshaw. This shit was devastating. I feel like he was hurting them boys in real life. I mean, he had to have been. Does anyone consider what they would do if they win Lotto? That would be the scariest thing. What is the first thing you would do when you win Lotto? Not tell anyone. Yeah, you don't want to tell people for sure. I mean, there's definitely a lot of stories about people winning the Lotto and then immediately getting robbed. The first thing I would do if I won the Lotto is just put a lot of it in the bank or in some kind of account, interest-bearing account. I feel like that would be the smart thing to do, and especially if you won like the jackpot, like there would be no reason not to. What non-political YouTubers do I watch? I mean, I'm subscribed to literally thousands of channels on YouTube. Obviously I don't watch all 2,000 to 3,000 of them regularly, but it's hard to say. Like looking at my subscriptions of non-political channels, just for some ideas, Dr. Disrespect, channels that I watch fairly frequently. Dead Meat, a lot of chess channels like Gotham Chess, GM Hikaru, Botez Live, College Humor, Headgum, Tom Ska, Anthony Padilla, Dimension 20, Cinemassacre, ProZD, Emma Blackery, Rhett and Link, Man Shorts, a lot of D&D related channels like Man Shorts, Critical Role, Dimension 20. I've gotten into Vampire the Masquerade recently, so I've been watching a lot of stuff related to that. Yeah, Gadmatorg, another great chess channel. Funhouse, Julian Salamita, Maggie Mayfish is semi-political, but mostly pop culture, I think. Rip Bon Appetit. I was a big fan of Bon Appetit, but it seems like that shit has completely imploded. So rest in peace, Bon Appetit. They decided that they were going to shut everything down rather than pay their employees of color. So yeah, there's a bunch of them. I could go on forever. We shot a feature film on the T3i. It's pretty decent for its time. Yeah, it's a perfectly fine camera. Especially like if you need a budget camera that looks decent, that would be my suggestion. Because you can, well, at this point you could probably find like a T6i, which as far as I know, the picture quality is not better, but it just has more options and things like that. Like a T6i or T7i, I'm not sure, but you can probably find a used one for like $200-300. I donate 75% of the winnings, reinvest the rest of the money. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that is, I mean, essentially that is what I do. I mean, my idea is I would definitely use the money I would give the money to people in one way or another. I think I would take care of my family first and foremost, my family and close friends. But then after that, like if you're winning the lottery, you have enough money to do like pretty much anything you want. Some states do require that you share your name. I don't know exactly how that or what the laws in each state. I think you don't have to show your face though. But winning the lottery, I made a video about the lottery, by the way. The lottery is just a tax on poor people, but that's a different conversation. George McCaffrey, thank you for the $5. Why is it not alerting about the fucking thing, about the super chats? Did I turn it off? I don't know. Yeah, John Bartholomew is cool. I'm a fan. The only thing about DSLR cameras is the lenses. Usually you can find a camera like that comes with a kit lens and you can use that. It's a little bit it's a little bit of a handicap because you need different lenses for different situations. But for me as a YouTuber, I'm not like doing like nature photography and stuff. All I need is a lens that can see me from right here. Like this is just like a cheap 24mm lens, doesn't zoom, doesn't do anything. It's just can see me from that distance. This one, the one on this camera here is like a zoom lens, but I don't really need a zoom lens. And this is a this one can see. This is 18 to 55mm. Basically, like the lower the number is, the less zoomed in the picture is when you're looking at it, which means you can sit closer to the camera basically. So this one's 24, the one I'm using, and this one can go as low as 18. However, this one, basically, without getting too technical, this one blurs the background more. That's it. And that's why I use that one instead. Sorry. Because I want that blurry background. because it looks cool. Thank you for the congratulations on 2K. I mean 200K. Have there been any subjects you've really been wanting to do a video on but can't quite figure out how to do it right? Yeah. There's some videos that I think that I wanted to do before, but I don't think that I will now. And there's videos that I used to not want to do that I might do now. Like, for example, I wanted to do a video that analyzed how Barack Obama affected LGBTQ issues in America. But I don't think I'm gonna make that video because I've decided semi-recently that it's not super good to like speak on behalf of other communities. It'd be better to just like signal boost other people that actually like know what they're talking about. And another example is like I want to make a video about affirmative action. And I always was hesitant to make that video because it's a very polarizing topic and I wasn't sure that people would actually listen to what I was saying. But I might actually make that video at some point now. I've never watched Corey X Kenshin. How do I read off my scripts? Do I memorize them? Well, I don't memorize the whole script. I just memorize parts of it at a time and cut around it. I mean, if you guys notice, my videos have tons of jump cuts in them, and that's part of the reason why. Part of it is stylistic, like I like jump cuts, I like how they look, but and that's probably just coming from my old school YouTube style. That's how everyone made videos back in the day, lots of jump cuts. But when you jump cut all the time, you don't have to remember a whole script, you can just remember pieces of it. I used to use a teleprompter, but I don't really like it. I might have to figure out, like, a teleprompter would make the process a lot smoother, but I feel like I just need to practice. Basically, I feel like I sound like I'm reading when I use a teleprompter, but that's probably just because I'm not very good at it yet. I watch way too much political content and get depressed by it. I mean, yeah, that's gonna happen. I have to limit how much I watch the news. That's why a lot of times when y'all ask me about current events, I'm like, I don't know anything about that, because I don't watch the news every day. I don't keep up with the news. I just kind of like, I set aside maybe like one day a week where I like catch up on things. I'm not constantly watching everything because it's sad. It's poor. It leads to poor mental health, I think. Thank you, Warning, for the congrats. What happened to the horse? Applesauce was his name. He's around. I have to figure out ways to. Well, I'm trying to see where it is. I don't know where it is right now. It might be in the other room. Well, since I changed my setup, I used to film sitting at a table and I could just put the horse on the table, but I don't do that anymore. I used to do like these little like non sequitur like cutaways to Sir Applesauce, but I don't know if people like that or thought it was just random and weird. I could do that still. Thank you, Danger Spoon. Thank you, Florence. I don't think I'm familiar with Afro-pessimism. What made you think of doing the animated avatar? Well, it's not really animated, but I've made a couple of videos like that, and really for one, it's just kind of trying something new, just trying something different. But also those videos are easier to make because I don't have to film myself, so I can just read the script in those videos. So they're a little bit easier to make. So if I just have an idea that I just want to make really quickly, I could just throw up the Chibi T1J and some visual aids, and I don't have to show my face. But it's just something new. Trying different things and see what works, what doesn't work. There's some way to turn the computer into a teleprompter. Well, yeah, no, I actually use my phone as a teleprompter. I found a good video on how to make a DIY teleprompter. Basically just cut a hole out of a binder and put like a sheet of glass in it, and then just use your phone. What Magic the Gathering colors do you play? Well, I haven't played Magic the Gathering in a long time, but when I did, I always tried to play mono black, but it seems like you can't play mono decks. But I always tried to play mono black. Black was my favorite color for sure. Appreciate that, Daniel. I have heard of Grade A Under A. I don't really watch them anymore though. Appreciate that, Ada. Thank you, Douglas. Wow, Grade A, that's a throwback. Yeah. Apparently he's back, like he started making videos again. I thought a lot of the other videos, the older videos, were funny, but then it simply became a drama channel, and that's just not really my jam. I'm not really interested in fucking YouTube drama. Mono Black Devotion is pretty lit. Yeah, until someone just drops a card that has protection from black, and then you just can't do anything. Syntax, thank you for the $10. Thanks for speaking up for the LGBT community, even if you're not a part. Your content is great, and the aspects you focus on are topics I don't often see queer creators discussing. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for the 10. I always try to be thoughtful and inclusive of other communities, but I also try not to speak for them, at least not these days. What are your thoughts on BreadTube? Seems like they only pay us lip service. Who is us? I don't really think about BreadTube as anymore. Like, I don't know what that is. Different people talk about it in different ways. At first, people seem to be happy to be associated with BreadTube, and now all of the leftists are like, nah, BreadTube's just a bunch of liberals, we're not BreadTube. So I don't know, the whole thing just seems very dramatic and clicky and gatekeepy, and I'm just not interested in any of that. So I just kind of don't I don't pay too much attention to it. Are there any LGBT YouTubers you would recommend? Do you mean people that talk about LGBT issues, or just people who are LGBTQ in general? I mean, there's Contrapoints, Cat Black, Miles Chronicles. Does Rantasmo still make videos? I haven't watched in a while, but his channel was dope back in the day. His last video was 2 months ago, so maybe not. Or maybe it says he streams. Philosophy Tube. What the fuck's the name? I can't remember. Milo Stewart. Oh, Milo Stewart only has 30,000 subscribers, really?
Hi YouTube, it's my
People are still disliking Milo's videos. That sucks. Anyway. Hello from Kenya. Can't sleep, so I'm watching you. Hello. Thank you for watching me. What time is it in Kenya? Most surprising idea in philosophy you learned, or most significant change of mind on the topic? I don't know. I can't think of any like specific idea, but I do know that studying philosophy in college, I had to learn. Well, we had to take a lot of classes about logic. Speaking of philosophy too, we just did a video about logic, which is amazing. But studying logic, I think, really helped me learn about how to formulate arguments and how to sort of notice when arguments are being made and how to sort of analyze arguments. And I think that comes in very handy with how I write my videos and how I think about how I just think about ideas in general. Like, people sort of tell me, like, a lot of my friends and stuff, they're always like, yeah, you're really good at like helping me think about things and helping me parse subjects. And I think that a lot of that is just because of learning how to form arguments and learning logic. So I don't know, maybe that's a semi answer to that question. I personally think that with you it's easy to assume good faith since you're so obviously respectful. If anyone not part of a community can still comment it, it'd be you. I mean, that might be true, but the problem is I don't know what I'm talking about. I can talk about it from a very, very surface level, but even that might be wrong. And it's just so much better to just listen to someone who actually knows what they're talking about. Like, I learn things. I think that I've learned a lot of things about other communities, but I'm always behind. Like, especially like LGBTQ and stuff, I'm always like one step behind because I don't have the experience. So me, and maybe, you know, I can speak from being one step behind because there's people that are even more behind than me, or I can just direct people to people who aren't one step behind. Appreciate it, Syntext. Never heard of BreadTube until just now. Yeah, well, it hasn't. I don't think people have been talking about it as much, but maybe like a year ago, 2 years ago, it was a big topic of conversation. Oh yeah, Riley Dennis, of course. I'm surprised that I forgot about Riley. Riley's videos are pretty dope. This is my first live. Hi, I'm a new subby. Thank you for subscribing. Have I spent much time in other parts of Alabama? I mostly spent time in Huntsville and Tuscaloosa. Love the vids and congrats on 200,000 subscribers. Appreciate that. I haven't spent that much time in other parts of Alabama, but I've been there. I've been to Huntsville. I've been to Montgomery. I went to the University of Alabama, so I lived in Tuscaloosa for several years. And I've been to like various small cities like Seal, Alabama, Scottsboro, Alabama. There's like suburbs and cities that are on the outskirts of Birmingham, like Hoover and Homewood and Center Point. And then if you go even further, you can get like Montevallo. So I've been a lot of places. I wouldn't say that I've spent a whole bunch of time there. Oh, you went to UA too? Dope. Appreciate that, Caleb. Your dreads are fire, man. Appreciate it. I got some. It's like got some wild ones up on the top. Well, the problem is they grow, but then the ones on the top, they're not long enough for gravity to take over. So like, they want to like bounce up. So I have to like make sure they're laid down or pinned down or something. You know, if I care about how they look, which sometimes I do. These days, I don't leave my house, so I just rarely care, but. What kind of sundae is that in your thumbnail? I don't know. I didn't know that there were different types of sundaes. I just literally just looked up Sunday clip art and put it in there. Speaking of Sundays, as you can see, we have a homies goal at the bottom. And originally we had a goal of 50, which we have reached. As you can see, we're at 66 now. But the incentive for reaching 50 homies, which is when you click the join button and become a member of the channel, was to do a cooking stream. And I think I'm gonna do that on Friday. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but that's kind of the plan. And I think that what I'm gonna cook is fried rice, but I also might make sundaes. I have to figure that out because the sundae is gonna melt if I make it first. But but then the rice is gonna get cold if I make the sundae after. I don't know, I have to figure it out. But I have to think, I wanna think of some, I'm probably gonna make fried rice. I'm thinking about making sundaes. But I feel like I should make something else too, because I feel like that's all that's going to be done in like 30 minutes. Is the KKK still a thing? Does it show up noticeably? I found your videos recently, really enjoying the videos and the Heiko phrase. Appreciate it. Well, the KKK is definitely still a thing. I don't know that they, I mean, I don't follow them, but I mean, it's definitely still a thing. And they have, you know, they do their demonstrations and things of that nature, but I don't really know what they're up to for real. Make filet mignon. Yeah, I don't want, well, it depends on how it's set up. My idea is that I don't want to eat and then go back and make something, because it's just going to require moving equipment back and forth from the kitchen to wherever I sit down to eat, which I want to avoid, but I'll just have to figure it out. I'll figure it out. By the way, I think you can check, can you still check, I think you can check the uptime. I think the bot will tell you. Maybe not. Or time, maybe. Oh yeah, there it is. There are I'm gonna start adding more like bot commands. People can interact with the bot in different ways. Thank you, Kara DJ. Yeah, I didn't know that they were still chasing people. From what I understood, they just kind of do like their demonstrations and then they leave and go to their meetings or whatever. But I know that they were still like trying to intimidate and attack people. Appreciate it, Alexander. So, speaking of homie goals, the next goal is 100, which we're already getting. I was thinking it was gonna take a while, but we're already almost at 70. This happens much faster than I expect. But anyway, the goal for 100 is to do a Bishop cosplay, specifically character Bishop from X-Men Days of Future Past. It seems like a very natural cosplay, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. But I think it's going to be expensive if I want to like do it well. So I want to add an incentive to it. I'll let you love, man. Thank you for the 10. I'm out. T1J, stay MFing Heiko, my guy. Here's to 1 million subs. Hopefully I'll still be homie of the month by then. I appreciate that. We'll see. Someone donated $100 last stream, so someone's trying to encroach on your territory. Thanks for subscribing, Sankofa. Quite new subscriber, subscribed in the past 70 years. What? Big fan of yours and have learned a lot and enjoyed a lot. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, noobs. Is the 100 goal on Patreon and YouTube? The 100 goal, this specifically is YouTube memberships. Since it is easier to become a member from YouTube, like if you're watching this stream, it is much easier for you to just click join and become a member. So I figured it'd be easier to push that, to incentivize that during the stream. and I can incentivize becoming a patron on videos and stuff. If I can figure out a way to track both, like during the stream, then I could do that. There may be a way to do that. I don't know how to do that because I've been getting a lot of patrons. If it was patrons, I would have reached this goal a long time ago. Like if I added patrons, I would probably have to make the goal like 1,200 or something, because I've got 566 patrons right now and the number keeps going up. So maybe not 1,200, that seems like a lot, but you know, 1,000, something like that. So if I can find a way to track it and sort of like show people the progress, then I'll do that, but I don't know how to do that. I'm not sure if there's a way to do that. All right, Aiden, thank you for stopping by the stream. Yeah, I mean, it's all good. Any way that people support is good. Just wanted to add something fun on the stream that I could we could promote. What video games do I play? I haven't really played anything in a while, but what's the last thing I even played? Oh, probably World of Warcraft. That's the last thing I played. That's probably going to be the game that I'm playing the most, because they're about to release a new expansion. But I have a few games, you know, like I have like GTA 5 and Hyperscape and The Sims, the type of shit I would normally play. And chess, but I don't know if that counts as a video game. Did Sam Harris make a response to your video about him? I don't know. If he did, I didn't hear about it. YouTube membership is YouTube's attempt to make Patreon obsolete. Yeah, I don't think that they're gonna succeed in that, but I think it's the more options there are for creators to monetize, the better. So I'm super okay with it. I think that YouTube memberships were specifically added for gamers, because they want to compete with Twitch. I think they're competing with Twitch more than they're competing with Patreon. So they wanted an equivalent to Twitch subscriptions, so they added membership, which I think is good, especially for streamers. Like the idea of membership goals, that's directly from Twitch. I got the idea from Twitch streamers. Yeah, both YouTube and Patreon take a cut. YouTube is obviously owned by Google, which is a for-profit company, and Patreon is also a for-profit company, and that's one of the ways that they make money, is by taking a cut of patron pledges. YouTube takes a higher cut, if anyone cares about that. But there's different reasons why you might want to do that, why you might want to choose one over the other. But the reason that on the stream specifically, that I incentivize memberships is because it's easy to do. You literally just go down and click join, rather than having to go to a whole new website, make a whole new account, set everything up. Literally, you can click join, and then I think it's like one or two more buttons after that, and then you're a member. Yeah, I mean, I'm streaming right now. I could be playing a game if I wanted to, and I have played games on this stream before. How many expansions are there for now for WoW? And do you have to buy them all? I think that you can buy sort of like a combination pack. Like you can buy a version of the game that has all of the expansions up to a certain point for like a reduced cost. I think you can do that. I'm not sure actually. How many expansion? There is Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, Mist of Pandaria. Was that after that? Mist of Pandaria, Warlords of Draenor, Legion, and then Battle for Azeroth. So this will be the 8th one, Shadowlands. Seems that functionality would be fairly easy to add to Patreon, webhooks and such. I mean, possibly. Speaking of expansions, you're gonna check out the new Guild Wars. Is that GW2? I assume is Guild Wars 2, right? Expansion when it drops. I don't know. Maybe. I have a buddy that I don't. Well, he was in the stream. He's probably not here anymore. But we played a bunch of Guild Wars 2, and maybe we'll check it out. But I'm not super interested in Guild Wars. So could you stream World of Warcraft? Yes, I have before. I've always wanted to play. I've just been kind of overwhelmed by the complexity, or at least it seems that way. It's a very complex game, but the thing about it is there's a lot of stuff to do in the game, but you don't have to do all of it. I think that's the thing people don't realize. You can ignore the parts of the game that you don't want to do. And there's like very specific lines that you can go down. I think the thing that probably everyone needs to do is level their character up. So you just do that, and there's multiple ways to do that, but the easiest way is just do the quest. So just do the quest and level up. After that, you can do whatever you want. You can go into PvP if you want, go fight other players, or and there's different types of PvP. But I assume if you like PvP, you'll probably do all of them. So there's like arena, like 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3. Or there's like battlegrounds where it's like these big maps and it's like 10v10 or even up to 40v40. Or you can get into PvE, raiding. Basically you just do dungeons and you collect gear and get strong, and then you go fight really strong monsters, and it's really fun. And then there's other stuff. You can get into professions. You can be an herbalist. You can spend all your time collecting herbs and turning them into potions and shit. And usually professions are making gold, are there for making gold. So some people, their entire purpose in WoW is just making gold. All they do is use their professions to sell stuff and make gold. And then there's pet battles. Some people only do pet battles. Pet battles is literally a Pokemon ripoff. That's literally what it is. And there's a bunch of different little monsters you can collect and make them fight each other. And you can just do that if you want. But you don't have to do all of it. That's the thing. You can just kind of do what you want. How's the learning curve for doing YouTube? Resources or trial and error? I mean, both, I guess. I mean, it's a never-ending process because YouTube is always changing. Not only does the algorithm always change, but the trends change. What works and what doesn't work change. and then learning the technical aspects of it, like how to film, how to light, how to edit. That's kind of an ongoing process that I don't even feel like I'm very good at. But if you're paying attention and if you're diligent about learning, you can learn pretty quickly. But I think a lot of people are sort of like stubborn. They want to do things their way. They don't want to like follow the trends or do what other people are doing. And a lot of times, like sometimes that works if you're like some kind of genius, but usually you're just holding yourself back because you're like being stubborn. What do I do? My favorite thing to do is PvP, but the thing about PvP is you have to find at least one other person, usually more than one other person, that is as dedicated to it as you are, and then you have to practice together and learn how to work together, and so you can like beat other people. That's my favorite thing to do, but I also do PvE. I love raiding, which is when you go into dungeons and fight big monsters. It's really, I think it's probably the most fun thing you can do in the game, but it's also pretty difficult to get to a level where you're doing it because and this is a thing that a lot of people don't like about MMOs like WoW, is there's a very grindy aspect to it. So it's like there's a big monster in that dungeon and it's really fun because the monsters have like all these mechanics and stuff. It's like, okay, the monster's gonna put some green fire on the floor, make sure you don't step in that, but also you have to look at the monster's health bar, because when it reaches a certain health you have to use this move, and then all the healers have to stand over here, and it's just like a really cool puzzle that you have to figure out how to defeat the boss, and it's a combination of mental and mechanics because you have to actually like move your character and stuff. To me it's really fun, but it'll be like, yo, that monster's in there, however I am nowhere near strong enough to fight that monster, so I have to do these lower level dungeons a bunch of times so that I can collect the gear that I need to be strong enough to go fight that big monster. So you'll spend a lot of time grinding those lower level dungeons and raids, and a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people's like, I just want to go fight the monster, that's the fun part. But I think the rewarding aspect of it is the progression. So you like do the dungeon, you do one of the dungeons, and it's like, oh cool, this boss dropped these cool fucking gloves that make me a little bit stronger. I'm still not strong enough to fight the boss, but I'm a little bit stronger. And then you do it again and again. It's like, oh, now I have a helmet, I'm a little bit stronger, but still not strong enough. But yeah, the idea is you do it with friends, or you do it with a group, so it's fun. You can do it by yourself, but it's not that fun if you do it by yourself. But the idea of MMOs is that you make friends and you do it with people. Do I have another job? No, this is my full-time job. Being a YouTuber / internet dude is my full-time job for sure. And especially this year, it's been going pretty well. The career has been building up. And I'm not getting demonetized as much as I used to, so the AdSense is doing okay. Got a bunch of patrons, got a bunch of homies on YouTube. Things are going pretty well. I've even been like selling t-shirts not like a lot of t-shirts. My merch has never been like super popular, but you know, people support it. I think a lot of people don't even know that I have merch because I don't really promote it that much, but you know, it's in the description and all that stuff. Would you consider doing a collab or interview with someone from another YouTube echo chamber? You subscribe to a couple cop YouTubers. I mean, I don't know. I'm interested in collabs. I think collabs are cool, but it has to be an idea that I think is good. And also, it's hard to do collabs because everyone's so busy. Appreciate that. Insanity. If I ever play mobile games, the only mobile game I play is Clash Royale, and I play it pretty religiously. I've tried other mobile games, but I can't find one that I like as much as that. Well, thank you for answering my questions, for your content, and just being you. I gotta make some lunch. Have a good day or evening, everyone. Stay safe. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by the stream. I'm probably not going to stream for that much longer. I just wanted to hop on for a little bit, but because it's almost already been 2 hours, but I definitely appreciate people hanging out with me for a little bit. Just discovered your videos yesterday. Thank you, YouTube algorithm. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of new subscribers and viewers. The algorithm has been friendly to me. The algorithm has smiled upon me. Mr. Percy's, thank you for the $9.99. Congrats on hitting 200K, brother. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. What's up, Uncle Poda? Saw your stuff by accident, but you were so chill, and I thought you were dope. I appreciate that. Thank you. Unanimous. Always good to see black content creators shine. Thanks. I agree. I agree. I know that YouTube said that they were going to start supporting black creators more. I don't know what, if anything, has come of that, or if they're still working on that, but would love to see how that's going to work. And again, sorry if the stream's like lagging or choppy right now, because it's been kind of messing up today. And I don't know, I just can't be bothered to fix it right now because I'm not going to be streaming for that much longer. Thank you very much, William. Appreciate the kind words. So yeah, for those that weren't here, the goal, I stream every Monday and Friday. That's the plan. And the goal for next Friday is to do a cooking stream, so be sure you tune into that. I'm gonna try to do it a little earlier in the day. Just make sure you click the notification bell if you want to make sure you don't miss it. Best and worst parts of doing YouTube full time. The best part for me is I'm my own boss. I work at my own schedule. It's an awesome job that I love and I care about. Me personally, I've always historically been pretty bad at doing traditional jobs. It could be that I'm just a brat, but I've always suspected that I had like a little bit of like ADHD or something going on, because it's really hard for me to focus on things if I don't care about it. And even if I do care about it, it's kind of hard to focus sometimes. And this like made it really hard for me. Like, it was hard for me to focus in school, and it was hard for me to focus on any job. And I just was never able to keep a job ever. Like, I'll make it like a year and either I'll just quit or I'll just get fired, because it was very clear that I didn't give a shit and I just I couldn't focus and I couldn't put any effort into it. So finding a job where I could work at my own pace and a job that I actually cared about was kind of essential, and luckily I did it. I figured it out. Oh, what's up, Wes? I assume that's Wes, right? I appreciate that though. The downsides of it, I guess there's downsides to choosing a career that makes you a public figure, because when you're a public figure, people don't treat you like you're a person. People kind of treat you like you're more than human or that you're less than human. Most people don't treat you like an actual complex person. They either talk to you like you're God's gift to mankind, that you're perfect and can't make any mistakes, which may seem cool, but it's very stressful. And then there's people who they think that because you're an online person, a public person, that they have access to you and can talk to you in any way and can treat you any way and do anything they want to you just because you're public. So that's one of the downsides. And then, you know, when you're public, I'm not like super famous or anything, but when you're public, there's just more likely that, you know, the wrong person figures out that you exist and they decide that they're gonna devote a ridiculous amount of energy trying to bring you down or attack you. So I've had situations where other content creators or other public figures will be like, I don't like what that guy's doing, so I'm gonna weaponize my audience against him and start talking shit and make sure that my tens of thousands of people are constantly in his comment section or replying to his Twitter and things of that nature. So I guess that those are probably the worst parts. What am I gonna cook? I want to do fried rice, I know that, and I figure I should do a Sunday because it's live stream Sunday, but I have to figure out how all that's gonna work. I have a really small kitchen, so I don't know how I'm gonna set up cameras and stuff. We'll figure it out. I think you came up because I've been searching for a lot of comedy lately. I think it's related to the SNL stuff I've watched. Cool, yeah. Like I said, earlier I was like, I'm surprised that the SNL video has caught on so much. Like it literally almost has 200k views, which would make it like in my top 20 most viewed videos, which I didn't expect. Oh yeah, it is you. Yeah, I appreciate that, Wes. Things have been going well. What are your hopes for your channel for next year? What do you want it to become? Well, the goal for the channel right now is just to make it sustainable and profitable. I think I've reached sustainable, but I want it to be profitable, and I want to be able to reinvest in it to do other cool stuff. As for what, I'm not sure exactly, but just more content. I just want to put more stuff out into the world, and I also want to like be able to enable other people to put stuff out in the world that I couldn't do. But there's only like so much that one person can do, and you learn that very quickly when you have sort of like this kind of, you know, content creation business. It is hard enough work just to put 2 videos a month out on my channel. I don't even know how people do more than that. But I want to do more, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to do more. Probably gonna involve other people, so that's one of the reasons why I want to be more profitable, so I can pay other people to help me. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've got anxiety, a shifted circadian rhythm, very hard to do normal hours, for sure. I just need to work at my pace. It's not really about the hours for me. It's just like I need to be able to work at my own pace. Like if I need to take a 3-hour break, I need to be able to do that. Like at a normal job, you can't be like, you can't tell your boss, yo, I can't do this right now. I need to take like a 3-hour break. Your boss would laugh in your face, or if not, just outright fire you. And I need to do that. I need stuff like that. Also, just not having a boss in general is pretty dope. Like having a boss is overrated. Well, actually, it's probably not very highly rated. Yeah, being able to work from home is obviously great. Although I think once I have more resources, I'm probably going to sort of invest in either like a separate office or a separate studio to work in. I kind of like the idea of separating work from play. So like the computer that I make my videos on is also the same computer that I do my leisure stuff on, and it might be good to separate that at some point. What do you want to represent, talk about? You do a lot of commentary, but is that what you want? Well, I mean, the ideas that I'm representing in my videos, that's probably what I'm going to represent. I mean, that's at the forefront of everything I do, for sure. But like I said, I'd like to enable other people to share their ideas, ideas which may not be my plan of action, but it would obviously have to be something that I believe in. What's the best way to support you as a creator? It really just depends on you. I don't know. I don't know exactly what you're looking for in terms of support, or in like, I don't know what qualifies as a good form of support for you. You can go to theonejanitor.com/support for a list of, I think, all of the ways you can support me, and you can see if any of those work for you. Am I selfish for enjoying you while you're smaller and getting to interact with you? I don't know if it's selfish. I think it's cool. Like I'm like either friends with or or several like very big creators, and sometimes I'll hop in their live streams and try to talk to them, and I just can't because there's too much going on, and it's like, but I like actually know you. That sucks. So I get that. And I don't think that goes away for a while. It gets a little bit worse. Like, I'm sure I've already missed a lot of questions. And it gets a little bit worse over time, but like, you know, even if there's hundreds of people in the stream, you can still interact with most people as long as they're chatting, you know. But eventually it gets to a point where it is like impossible to interact with people. And like if you go and watch some of these Twitch streams where there's tens of thousands of people watching, it's like impossible for any semblance of real interaction to happen. So what happens is people compete to try to get attention, and that's why they just like spam emotes or type a bunch of bullshit in all caps, because they're trying to stand out in this huge sea of people. Appreciate that Wipeout Dog. Thank you, Carlos. But I've had people, like there was a guy, I remember there was a guy when I was very small. I think it was when I had maybe like 5,000 subscribers. This guy used to comment on all my videos. He was a big supporter. And then once I got more, like once I got up to like 20 or 30,000 videos, 20 to 30,000 subscribers, I didn't see him anymore. Granted, it may have been a little bit harder to find him. But then I noticed, I saw this other YouTuber that I was like kind of friends with, but another smaller YouTuber, and I saw that he commented on one of their videos. Somehow, I think that YouTuber mentioned me in one of their videos. So he was commenting on it about that, and he said something like very snarky, like, oh, T1J, he's like famous now. He doesn't care about us anymore. So some people do get upset with it. And it's like, well, I'm sorry for growing, dog. My bad for, you know, succeeding in my career. So some people actually don't like it. And you know, you can't really do much about that. Who are my favorite creators? It's hard to say. It kind of changes over time. The ones I always say are Vlogbrothers, ContraPoints, Captain Disillusion. I was a big fan of Jenna Marbles, but then she quit. Hopefully she comes back. But I like a lot. I also was a big fan of Bon Appetit, but that whole thing imploded, of course. Tim Lash, thank you for the $20. Congrats on 200K. Looking forward to 250,000. Thank you very much. I think it'll come sooner than I probably think. That's kind of another thing with YouTube. Growth seems to be exponential. Like the more popular you get and the more successful you get, the more popular and successful you can get. Do I agree with why Jenna Marbles quit? I don't think it's really up to me to decide whether or not the reason she quits is right or wrong. She literally gets to decide her own reason. So I respect her decision, if that's what you mean, but I don't think I get to decide whether it was right or wrong. Unanimous, thank you for the $9.99. Best of luck, man. I don't know if we'll get to chat again like this. I hope you keep blowing up. Hope this helps. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't think that y'all have to worry about me like blowing up overnight. I think there's a lot of time to chat. Also, my live streams are, as you can see, my live streams are disproportionately underviewed compared to how many viewers and how many subscribers I have. I'm not really sure why that is. I guess people just aren't into it. They didn't subscribe for the live stream, they subscribe for the videos, but that's fine. Or maybe YouTube isn't showing them that I'm live. I don't know, but you would think that someone with 200K subscribers would have more than 40 people watching them. But I don't really know why that's the case. I guess just people aren't into it. But the goal is to build the stream up, so hopefully we can convince more people to come watch. Yeah, Captain Disillusion is dope. I wish he released videos more frequently, but his videos are so well produced and high quality that you can't even be mad. Like, of course, it probably takes him a while to make them. The algorithm suggested this stream. That's good. Actually, I think YouTube did say that they are going to change the algorithm to promote streams more. So maybe that's already starting to kick in. But, you know, I still only have 40 viewers, which is you know, about normally what I have. Like it's not more than normal. Do I mention on Patreon that I'm doing the live streams? I don't. If I can come up with an elegant way to do that, I would. The problem is I stream twice a week, so I don't want to spam my Patreon with, hey, I'm streaming now. Like, that seems annoying. Thank you, Picnic. Appreciate that you subscribed, and I hope you're enjoying the videos. Yeah, the easiest way to make sure you don't miss streams is to click the notification bell. Also, it might be, I would probably get more viewers if I streamed at a consistent time, which I don't. I stream at like, I stream on the same days, Monday and Friday, but the time at which I start is just kind of random. So yeah, I can like do a poll or something on Patreon, because different people have different views about that sort of thing. Would I consider collabing with a micro YouTuber just starting out? Only if they had like an amazing idea. Because the point of making content is to make something cool, and a lot of people just starting out, they really haven't figured out how to make cool stuff yet. Like, no offense to any starting out YouTubers, but I feel like when you're first starting out, you should just be focusing on learning how to make content and learning how to make good content. But if someone was making amazing stuff and wasn't getting proper exposure for it, I'd be happy to help. But most new people aren't. I'd say like 95% of new people aren't making amazing content yet because they just haven't figured out how to do it yet. But yeah, and it's, I don't know, you have to be wary about that sort of thing, because a lot of people, they just want to use your audience for their own gain, and they're not really interested in trying to, you know, make good content. What do you want to make your upcoming content about? I mean, I have a lot of ideas, but generally I don't reveal what the next videos are about, because I want it to be a surprise. The Patreon feed. Yeah, I mean, I'll look into it. You have a hobby that's just yours, something you don't really publicize, or something you really enjoy? Well, I pretty much publicize everything because I'm a public person. So if I have a hobby, I've probably talked about it on the live stream or tweeted about it or something like that. I don't think there's anything that I just don't talk about. But I would say that the things that I'm into and the hobbies that I'm into are things like chess and D&D and pro wrestling. That's probably the three biggest things that I'm into that are like hobbies, I guess, or subcultures that I'm involved in. But I mean, I'm obsessed with D&D, and I want to make D&D content, so it might be the D&D aspect might become part of my actual career at some point, because I really want to make D&D content. I want to get involved with the D&D content creator community, basically. That's what I want. I want to be a guest on Critical Role. What's my preferred chess website? I mostly use chess.com just because it's the most popular. It's very easy to find a game, but I also use LiChess sometimes. I use LiChess a lot because you can choose whether you want to be white or black, and sometimes if you just want to practice from a certain side of the board, you can do that. But I just use chess.com most of the time. Well, I'm unfamiliar with a lot of the other RPGs. I'm about to join a Vampire the Masquerade game, but I'm very new to it. I don't know anything about it. I played Call of Cthulhu once, but the one that I'm most familiar with is D&D, and D&D is obviously the most popular, so probably mostly D&D, but I'm interested in learning about other systems and other games. Appreciate that, James. I just started watching, well, I recently started watching LA by Night, which is a Vampire the Masquerade actual play show, and it's so good. It's amazing. It's really good. And I was like, I want to make stuff like that. But I just have to try other games and see which ones I like the most. But I love D&D, I know that, so. Yeah, LA by Night is like mind-blowingly good to me. I can't believe how good it is. Like the storytelling and the role playing and the performances, it's just I mean it's so good. Like gives me chills and shit. Yeah, once you get to like once you get to season 2, that's when they start getting really good with like the storytelling and the interwoven stories and all kinds of shit. And then there was like an alternate reality game that they were part of that helped I think it was to promote the Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 game. So obviously that was a few years ago, and I guess it's over now, but I'm like watching through it now, and it's pretty cool. Thank you, Matthew. There's a podcast called The 25 Years of Vampire the Masquerade that goes over a lot of the old books and lore, if you're looking for something like that. Yeah, I might check it out. I have a lot of, since I'm about to join a vampire game, so I've got a lot of the source material and books and stuff that I'm going to be looking through. And you learn a lot about the lore just from watching LA by Night, so it's a good introduction for people that just want to know how the game works and how the basics of the lore. But I consider doing a podcast or something. I mean, I would love to do a podcast, but like I said, it's hard enough running a YouTube channel. But that's something that I'm interested in doing. Oh, what's up, Macro? Hey man, congrats. I've been binge watching your videos lately. I respect your opinion. Keep it up, King. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade is a tabletop RPG. There is also a video game, but the video game is based on the RPG on the tabletop game. And once I start playing them, I'll definitely, like, you know, link it up and let y'all come watch. Should be pretty good. We're playing with my buddy Wes, who he was in the stream earlier. I guess he's gone now, but I played D&D with him, and he's an excellent DM. So I'm pretty confident it'll be a good. And we're playing with some other, like, experienced players. Like, I'm kind of like the new guy. Do my close friends have similar hobbies? I mean, yeah, I mean, I play D&D with my close friends. I don't think any of them play chess. And I've got some friends that are into wrestling. Just kind of depends on which friends it is. But my current D&D game is with probably like or at least 3 of my closest friends, and my brother, who's also a close friend. Have you been on any podcasts? I've been a guest on a few podcasts. I don't know if there's any like super popular ones. There's a couple of examples on my channel. I think if you go to my channel page, there's a section that's like T1J on other channels, and a couple of those are podcasts. Like Matt Binder, is it Binder or Binder? Matt Binder, I was on his podcast. I was on Cato Godfrey podcast. So yeah. What class do I most personally identify with? What class do I personally identify with? I don't know. Well, I mean, the classes. I mean, the class that I like playing. I like more. I like melee combatants. I don't generally like spellcasters that much. But I do like rangers. But I mean, I just like fighters and shit, dude. I like fighters and rogues. I don't know if I identify with it, but I just like playing it. I appreciate it, Daniel. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be streaming that much longer. If you weren't doing this, what do you think you'd be doing for a living? I have no idea. Like I said, I'm really bad at traditional jobs. It would probably have to be something creative. It would probably have to be, it would most likely need to be something where I have a very flexible schedule, or I don't have a boss. Maybe something with writing. Like, I'd love to like write for a show or something. But I feel like that's a job that's really hard to get, so I can't like guarantee that that's what I would be doing, but that's something I would try to do at least. I kind of like, well, It's not that I don't like I don't like the spell casting classes, but I don't mind spells. Like I like playing Eldritch Knight fighters. And keep in mind, I don't have too much player experience. Most of my experience in D&D has been as DM. But of the rare experience that I've had a lot of fun playing Rangers and a lot of fun playing Eldritch Knight fighter. You know, I don't mind having some spells, but at the end of the day, I just want to run up in your face and hit you with some swords. And that's kind of how I am in video games as well. I always like the melee combatants. I love rogue. Like we were talking about WoW earlier, my favorite class in WoW is rogue, but I also love, you know, warriors, and I always play all the melee classes. Warriors, Death Knights. So they say that, I don't know that much about vampire, but they say like if you like, you know, brawling and stuff, that you should play a Bruja, which is one of the vampire clans. But I don't know, I have to do more research about all that. Any funny D&D stories? So I sent a sticker through and it never showed up, but I got charged. Interesting. Let me see. Yeah, it hasn't. It's not shown up on my end either. Maybe it'll just pop up later or something. I don't know. I don't know about any funny D&D stories. I mean, there's funny things that happen in the game, but a lot of it is like a you had to be there moment. One of the players in my game, the character that he plays, the voice that he does for the character is like a mixture of Sean Connery and Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. So it's like, yes there, I'd like to buy a room. And it's like hilarious every time he speaks. I've had to maintain composure. Every time I play. Yeah, I think that I mean all RPGs owe something to D&D for sure. The entire concept of RPGs is based on tabletop. The entire concept of video game RPGs, not all tabletop RPGs, all video game RPGs owe something to D&D. But of course D&D, most of its stuff is taken from fantasy novels and mythology and things of that nature. So. But I'm probably going to end the stream in about 10 minutes. I'm kind of hungry. Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely Tolkien. I mean, there's a lot of it is like literally directly ripped off from Lord of the Rings and Tolkien and stuff. In fact, a lot of, if I could recall correctly, several of the things in early D&D games had to be changed because the Tolkien people were threatening to sue the D&D people for using their shit that they made up. So like, that's why there are, in D&D, there are halflings instead of hobbits, and treants instead of ents. Am I gonna play the new Vampire Masquerade game? I actually might. I don't think I was interested in it before, but now that I've, you know, now that I'm like gotten into the game, I'm actually interested to do it. Are you optimistic or pessimistic about America's future? I think that I'm pessimistic in the short run, but I'm optimistic in the long run. I feel like there's a good chance that it could get worse before it gets better. But I do think that society gets better over time. The problem is the way our system is set up. It doesn't take much for us to be set back. Like, for example, we have Donald Trump as the president. But I don't think that the majority of human beings in America like Donald Trump, think like Donald Trump, want Donald Trump's policies to be enacted. Yet, he still became the president. So even though I think that our society is more progressive than someone like Donald Trump, he still managed to become the president. So sometimes it doesn't take that much for us to get to be stalled, for progress to stall. But I do think over time progress happens. And it may not even be in my lifetime, but hopefully for future generations, the world's a little bit better. To have an opinion on the changes Wizards of the Coast wants to implement to the D&D race system. Are you talking about when they're trying to move away from like very like stringent alignments and stuff like that? Because I know they were talking about how, you know, associating, for example, like orcs. If you look up orcs in like the player's handbook, they're like described as evil, I think. Like every creature in D&D has like an alignment, and orcs, for example, are chaotic evil. So there's an implication that orcs are just born evil. And you know, there's been no shortage of analysis of fantasy that presents something such as orcs as analogous for minorities or poor people, things of that nature. So the idea that just because you're a monster, or just because you like live in the mountains, or just because you don't have access to the same industry and civilization as other people, that means you end up evil. You know, it's a little problematic. But the thing is, I think that most DMs have moved beyond that. I don't think that most people play it like that anyway. Like in my game, I have good orcs and bad orcs. I have good bugbears and bad bugbears, good dragons and bad dragons. It just depends. They're people. It's like people are different. But you know, I think that it's interesting to talk about like different backgrounds and things of that nature.
Congrats on 200k subs. Also, happy Monday.
Jack with the $50. Sheesh. Thank you very much for the tip. I've been getting a lot of big donations lately. I don't even know what to say about it. I mean, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah, I don't know, that like interrupted my train of thought. And different stats for different races. Well, I mean, they already kind of have different stats, right? To a small extent. I mean, I think that's okay. I think the people at Wizards, like they put effort into like balancing the game and trying to make it fun. So I mean, I trust them to do something that's interesting. And that's the beauty of D&D. Like if the rules don't make sense to you, you can change it. That's why, that's the advantage D&D and tabletop games have over video games. Like if like in a video game, if I think a monster is too powerful, I can't make it less powerful. But in D&D, I can be like, okay, this monster is broken, I'm gonna change it. But I like the idea of alignment still. It's just that you don't have to make it inherent to a certain race, you know? You can't just be like, oh, that's an orc, that means they're all evil. But I think that I'm okay with having some characters be evil, and some characters be good. Especially when we're talking about like deities and stuff. Like in my campaign, there's demons and devils and shit, and I'm okay with saying, yeah, demons are evil. Like maybe there's some non-evil demons, but that's rare. They're mostly evil. I'm okay with that being in my game. I think the only creatures that have settings of alignment. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I think about it. Although some people don't even have the planes of alignment like in their game. So it just depends. I mean, DM can run it however they want. But I understand why it's problematic to just be like all orcs are evil, all ogres are evil, all bugbears are evil, that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream. Sorry for people that just got here recently. But yeah, it's getting late and I gotta eat and I got some work to do. But yeah, the cooking stream, I'm planning to do it Friday. Hopefully, don't quote me on that, but that's what I hope to do. If you want to make sure you don't miss it and don't miss further streams, click the notification bell on the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. We hit 200k subs recently, which is a pretty cool accomplishment, but we're gonna keep rolling. We got nowhere to go but up. My stream on Friday, I'm hoping to do it a little earlier than now. So right now it's like 10 p.m. And I started the stream around what, 8 p.m. So I want to start it earlier, maybe like 3 p.m., maybe even earlier. So that's what I'm hoping for. We'll see if that happens. But yeah, check the description below for all of my links, all my social media, ways to keep up with me, things of that nature. If you want to see a replay of this stream or past streams, there's a link in the description to a playlist where you can watch the repeats of the streams, and that's actually the only way that you can watch them because they are unlisted. You can't search for them or anything like that. But I guess that's it for now. Thanks everyone that came to watch my stream. If you want to talk to me or something, you can email me or hit up Curious Cat. Also join the Discord. Go to onejanitor.com/discord. We have a nice community there, and I'm fairly active. I've been a little bit busy lately, but I'm fairly active on the Discord, so that's a good way if you want to just hang out and chat. But there's also just a cool community that hangs out there anyway. And that's it. Thanks again. I should have a video, like I said, next week, but I will see you at least 2 more times on the stream before I do that. So I'll see you Friday, but there's a real video coming next week. So I will see y'all next time. Okay, bye.